Welcome to day 20 of the 30-day video challenge and the story of me doing a nice scenery change. Figured since we're talking about the things that I do, that it would make sense to bring you in to where the magic happens. This is currently our location, Prestige Martial Arts in Troy, Michigan. And we spent a lot of time putting together the safety for the students. We've got the top quality mats on the floors and the walls, and then our basic concepts on the back. And that's what I wanted to kind of talk about today. So the basic thing that we start with the kids with is structure. Everything with good habits and good discipline start with structure. And so a lot of times what will happen is parents are upset that their kids don't do these big things, but they don't take the time to make sure that the little things are done correctly. An example here at the school would be tying your belt. When a student steps up for belt testing, I can pretty much judge where they're at that time simply by looking at their belt. If their belt is tied correctly, then I know that they're paying attention to what they're doing, and there's a good chance that their movements are going to be good, have good discipline as well. If their belt is all sloppy, there's a very good chance that their movements are going to be sloppy. So how do you apply this at home? Well, we talk about another one of our challenges is having the students make their bed. And for the kids that don't make their bed, guess what? Right? They tend to be a little bit lazier. They tend not to set goals. They tend not to want to be active. And so there's a whole process and mindset that goes with that. So when you start teaching this to your child when they're young, they're going to be a lot more successful as they go on. But everything in life starts with structure. And that's why our whole concept is structure is to have discipline, to obey what is right, and to follow the rules. Once you have a good structure in your life, then you're going to be able to build upon that and make it a lot more successful. Next, for our concepts, is what we call emotion. And this is where a lot of schools, I believe, start to mess things up, right? So our education system's already behind by about 50 to 100 years, depending on where you're at. But what we start to see is school has great structure. The kids have to do things, but then they jump right to our third element, which is knowledge. We put emotion before knowledge because the student needs to want to do the things that we have for them in order to get the benefits of them. So we want them to fall in love with the activity before we worry about the memorizing and learning of the thing itself. So developing a good structure, having the kids love the activity, then allows us to develop the knowledge. And that's why we say Black Belt basically is a 4-year program in our system. Year number 1, you're just learning the structure and you're developing the emotion along and attaching those two things. Year number 2 is where the knowledge really starts to kick in. So then years number 3 and 4, you can prepare for the advanced training and for Black Belt. But the same process goes at home too, right? How often do you have to lecture or yell at your kids to get things done because there's no emotion involved? They're not emotionally involved in doing their chores. They don't take pride in having the work done or saying that I did that or take responsibility for being a part of the family. Once you start involving emotion into the process, you're going to see a lot better results. So that again takes us over to the knowledge aspect. Once the emotions involved, now how do you do it? Right? This is how you make your bed. So that way you don't have to show it to them every time. This is how you do the dishes. This is how you do laundry. This is how you cook a meal. Once you teach them the knowledge after they're involved with the emotion, right, now they can do it for themselves. And again, we've had multiple conversations with this with people, and this can start as young as age 3 or 4 years old, again, age specific. Being able to give kids certain responsibilities so that they learn how to do it and take pride in it is ultimately the goal. Then our fourth and final part is legacy. And ultimately, that's what I'm trying to build now. So right now, my coach, Mr. Horton, has 10 schools, and they are all running while he is off in the mountains enjoying snow skiing for the winter. And so having a full staff able to run all 10 schools without him even lifting a finger is what we call legacy. And so it's that same process. In the next several videos, we're going to talk about my vision of the future and where we're going to head. But in an umbrella or nutshell, that's ultimately it. I don't want Prestige to end with me. I want the legacy to continue. And so to do that, we've got some great teenagers that are coming up. and have the potential to be fantastic instructors. It's just going to be a matter of if that's what the path that they choose to go. So welcome to Prestige. Glad I was able to show you the school today. The 4 basic elements: structure, emotion, knowledge, and legacy are the core elements of what we do here. And I'm going to go get ready for classes, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.